Welcome back to the Brothers of Troy podcast. It's your host, AJ.
And Boba.
Welcome back, guys. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. I mean, Christmas was a long time ago, but yeah, Happy New Year, first of all. And speaking of Christmas, as you can see, we got a new little feature for the podcast. We definitely wanted to give a special shout out to one of our cousins. Shout out to our cousin Dean and his wife Heather for giving us this Noggin Boss hat. Okay, no sponsorships at all. They gifted us this Noggin Boss. That is this big old hat right here for us to wear on the podcast. So thank you so much, cousin Dean and Heather. And thank you for supporting us for one and watching our episodes. We will find a segment. We're going to try to find a segment for next year's football season to try to incorporate how we go about sharing this between the both of us. So I just wanted to let you guys know we'll find a way to make it work with you gifting us this for Christmas. So we appreciate you guys, love you guys, miss you, and hopefully we can make it out to visit you guys, especially since we play Penn State at Penn State next year. So thank you very much. I'm kind of itches my head right now, so I'm gonna switch to my hat. But like I said, we're gonna incorporate this within a new segment coming next year, guys. So be on the lookout. Like I said, this is Noggin Boss. If you want one of these, no sponsorships. Just letting you guys know. But if you guys want one of these, it's called the Noggin Boss. So go look for your favorite team. Go buy a SC1 or whatever. But like I said, thanks cousin Dean and Heather for the Noggin Boss. Now let's dive into this damn loss of a bowl game versus TCU. For those of you who don't know, I mean USC played TCU on Tuesday, December 30th, I think it was. And we lost in a heartbreaking fashion to TCU. USC had 27 points. TCU had 30. We went into overtime. Should not have gone into overtime, in my opinion. Because, I mean, first of all, what I want to get off my chest right off to start this podcast is, like, how do we blow a 10-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game? Is that horrible clock management by Lincoln, or is it just, what are we doing?
Both. That's what it is. Your defense can't stop a fly, and you have horrible clock. But that's Lincoln's MO. He's always had horrible clock management. When it comes down to every big game or every game that we lost, like last year, should it be Penn State? Terrible clock management there. We lost. It's just what it is. Michigan again last year. Should have beat them last year as well. Or the year before last year. Now that's 2026.
I know, it's
just
crazy.
When your defense can't stop nobody. But my main thing is the tackling. I mean, I didn't play that much tackle football, but one thing Dad taught me is how to hit and wrap and go for the legs. And the fact that you can't just either push them out of bounds or go low, like but see, the part of me feels like on the defender's end, where can you really hit? Because they call a penalty for a lot of things. So now where can you actually target?
Yeah.
To make a tackle.
I mean, I can only speak on because I played in high school, so I have more playing experience compared to Anthony. I mean, we've been talking about this all season long as far as tackling, and that's been a main issue with USC and defensive football. I mean, this is just, even alumni are not even happy with what they're seeing. It's like notable alumni, like defensive notable alumni especially. But going back to like the tackling situation, like you said, you're taught to hit and wrap in most cases, right? Nowadays in college and in the NFL, they don't tackle in practice anymore because the injury situation, you don't want to hurt your teammate, which I get and understand 100%, but that's also a part of the problem. You're not doing enough live tackling in practice, and it obviously affects the gameplay tackling. Okay, and in that situation, in us losing, in how we did, all they really needed was a field goal, right? They were right there. They were literally going to go to field goal. That's why the TCU quarterback checked it down to the receiver, his running
Because
back.
it was a screenplay.
No, it was a check down to the running back. We had guys there to make the tackle. First guy missed. I guess I can't really remember it because it's been so long. It's like been like how many days? 1, 2, 3, like 4 days since the game ended. First guy definitely missed. I don't know if he got a little bit juked or like just tried to arm tackle. Second and third guy ran into each other because they got juked a little. And then Christian Pierce, absolutely, he was making tackles. Christian Pierce was making tackles all day. Don't get me wrong, but he couldn't make this one. And when in watching the replay and the highlights over again, he led with his right shoulder, going at the guy. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, if looking at the screen right now, I am going to go tackle Anthony, right? Christian Pierce led with this right shoulder to tackle Anthony's on my screen and your guys' screen left hand side of the body. So his head, normally you're trained to have your head on like your head is depending on where he's running. So Christian, the guy was running obviously towards the sidelines, and like I don't know how to describe it in the sense of explaining it, but Christian Pierce's head should have been on the if I will use Anthony as an example, on Anthony's on our screen, right side of the body, Anthony's side of the body, left side. So Christian Pierce's head should have been on Anthony's right side of the body for him to make a solid tackle and like get him out of bounds, right? But he wasn't. The running back's momentum was going forward, and Christian Pierce tackled with his right shoulder, and his head was on Anthony's left side of the body. You can't make a tackle like that unless you're like gonna absolutely bear hug him and like squeeze him for life. So that tackle was just one of the worst tackles of the game for Christian Pierce. Don't get me wrong; he was making good tackles all game long, but just that one, that one was poor execution on the tackle, and obviously that's what allowed them to win. But I also I will say, going back to what the question I posed you, how do we lose the game in 5 minutes in the fourth quarter? I want to answer my own question there, and it leads into this next talking point of the game. Lincoln was just way too pass heavy. Like even in that fourth quarter 5-minute drill, like bro, we had King Miller. King Miller was running pretty well during the game. Would you not say?
Yeah, but I mean, again, that I did see that's his MO though, and why I feel like he shouldn't be. He should be one or the other. He shouldn't. You either should be OC and just an offensive coordinator, or you should just be a head coach, because clearly both aren't working out. And again, time and time again, this has happened. And again, against Michigan, same thing. We could have ran the ball because I mean, we had a good solid. I mean, Woody was hurt, but the backup at that time, whoever it was, could have got the job done. I feel like, but
Yeah, but this is now. Let's not go into
but
two
that's what I'm
seasons
saying.
ago.
But that's not. But that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Nothing has changed, and I think that's why a lot of people want him out because it's the same thing. Don't matter if it was 2 years ago. Don't matter if it was the game last Tuesday. You still do the same thing when it comes down to winning crunch time games in the crunch time. You get too pass heavy for what? What are you passing the ball for? Run the clock out. You're up 10. You don't need to really. If they stop your run, then that's just okay. They played better on that end of the ball on defense, and you give them credit there. But if you just blow the game because you're being an absolute idiot with the time, then that's on you. That's your fault, your responsibility. You take it on.
Yeah, I mean, granted, like I said, King was running pretty well throughout the times we gave him the ball, and he's got good chunks of yardage. I mean, I don't know why we didn't run with him more within that 5 minute drill. Like you said, you run the ball and like even a screenplay for Christ's sakes. But the how fast we were going within that 5 minute drill is not what you practice and execute when you're practicing. So, I mean, everything what you said is pretty valid, Bubba. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do play devil's advocate just for the pod, and sometimes there's personal feelings within myself on how I view football, obviously. But for the pod, yeah, I tend to play devil's advocate. But in this one, I am in complete agreement with my brother. I mean, it's frustrating. It's year after year. This is what happens. I think right now USC football. I mean, I want to give Lincoln the benefit of the doubt. Like I personally right now. I mean, we were talking yesterday. Anthony and I were talking yesterday when we were playing video games, all day.
Friday.
Friday. You're right. Friday. Um, that right now, in my personal opinion, we kind of like half. We're it's the cards are kind of like not in our favor as who we could potentially hire as a head coach if we were to fire Lincoln Riley, right? Him and Bubba and I freeballed some ideas. I mean, he didn't really. He said, who'd you say?
Okay, well, first of all, Joey and all of them keep talking about Urban Meyer. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying they keep talking about it. Is Urban Meyer just because he's on the Fox program with Reggie and Matt? They think that Reggie and Matt are convincing him to go coach SC.
Who knows if that's true or not, but that could be a hypothetical. Anthony also said Nick Saban, but I told him Nick Saban is not coming back to college football because he does not like everything that is
Honest,
going on
honestly,
with
I
the
feel like
NAL.
sorry. I feel like it'd be either Coach O or somehow you drag Pete Carroll out of the Raider situation.
Yeah, that's what
That's
we talked about. My that was Coach O was my strong suggestion. If we were to fire Lincoln Riley, I would go after Coach O, or like we bring back Pete Carroll. I mean, shit, give us
because there's
something to look forward to because we're SC fan base is just yeah,
well, I
we're
think
looking for
because
the
people
past.
I think because people, especially people are saying like John Gruden wants to go coach again in the NFL, and who knows if that's going to happen. But preferably, if I mean, he would be down to coach anywhere. Obviously, it's Coach Gruden, the resume he has. But I know he wants to go coach the Raiders like that. That if there was a team that he would want to coach, it would be the Raiders because the opportunity that they had back in '01 to win the Super Bowl, getting pretty much scammed out of that, pretty much. I think he would want to at least try, and Raider fans would be fine with it. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, if somehow that works out, where Pete gets canned over there, if after another crappy start next year, maybe Brady goes after Gruden, gets Gruden in there, and then somehow we get Pete in some way. They screwed it up. They had their chance. I mean, like when someone like Pete Carroll says, "Yeah, I'm not going to coach anymore," which is what he said when he went to go teach at SC last year or the year before.
I think he's still
You had your,
teaching there still, to be honest with you, but
you still have your shot. I mean, you can still say, "Look, honestly, like anything could work out." He could be like, "Well, I don't want to coach the Raiders anymore. I want to go coach at SC." And then maybe it opens up a spot for John Gruden to go over there because I'm sure the Raider fans will be happy with that.
Yeah,
So just give us Pete Carroll. We'll
I
give you
mean,
John Gruden.
Also got screwed when Antonio Brown was there. But let's not dive
Well,
into this
no,
Raiders situation.
but
Hold
that's
on,
not
let's
the
not
main
dive
thing.
into this. Let's finish. Let's
I
finish. We
know.
can. We hold on. Let
I
me finish, please, and thank you. Let's finish talking about the game. We can. Okay, we'll free ball all this other ideas after talking about the game. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing. I mean, losing in a bowl game that we were projected to win.
honestly, to be honest, okay, never mind.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying when it gets to the game ball, I'm not even gonna remember the dude's name. I'm just gonna pick him because
Okay. Well, do you want me to look up his name for you?
it's something Johnson.
Do you know what number he was?
15.
Okay. 15 is Richardson.
Richardson, yeah, it was
Okay.
Richardson.
With that being
I
said,
think
we're going to
his name starts
transition.
with a J. His name starts with a J. That's why I know
I think it's
something.
we sat next to his buddy that one time. Do you remember one game we sat
Oh,
I
yeah, no,
I was
front. Yeah, no, behind him. No, behind them.
No, we were like not we were next to them. I forgot what game it was, but we sat next to one of his high school best friends. Like I said, I forgot what game it was.
I think it's Jay Richardson. I know.
I think it's
I throw him
Jaden.
sometimes watch football.
Hold on.
Hopefully he.
But
doesn't
anyways,
leave
with
it.
that being said, Anthony really would prefer to dive into these game ballers. So we'll wrap it up one more time for this game. I mean, we're not too happy with how we played. I mean, it's just, how do we lose to TCU? Okay, we were winning the whole time. I mean,
Like how does Ohio State lose to Miami? It's the same thing.
well, that was a good game. That's a different. That's playoff talk. Okay, that's different. That's a lot of passionate stuff you could dive into for those two fan bases. But for us, we were projected to win. We were favored to win. Little information that I actually just was reading up on before we hopped on in the past. That quarterback Hoover just transferred to the University of Indiana, so we're going to be playing him again. So next year.
Okay, but he's not Fernando Mendoza.
Who knows, bro? I mean, well, you know who also just transferred
He's
it?
he's gonna have to beat out Fernando Mendoza's brother.
True. That's if whatever Fernando's brother's name is stays.
Alberto.
There you go. Good job.
It is Alberto, isn't it?
I think so. I don't know. We don't follow Indiana like that. We'd have to ask Mateo or whatever. I mean, you can look it up if you really want to. But I also didn't see that Michigan State receiver.
Yeah, it is Alberto.
Okay. Michigan State receiver Nick Marsh also just transferred to Indiana.
Who?
Nick Marsh. I mean, he didn't really do too much against USC because he didn't play against USC when we played them this year. So, but recapping on the game, guys. Sorry, we're getting a little. It's been like a couple weeks. I mean, since we've done a podcast together. I mean, episode 14 was strictly me by myself, and it was just pretty hard to just talk about my thoughts without my brother being in it. So we're kind of a little bit rusty, bowl game rust on us a little bit, but it's all right. We'll figure out to get back on track and get things going. But yeah, bowl game, Alamo Bowl. Sorry, our dad went to the game and had to witness a loss. Unfortunately, we haven't really got to chop it up with him. I mean, maybe you have, but
No, he said the same thing. I mean, can't tackle, can't win ball games. I mean, he said, what are you gonna do when they don't? Then I could read Dad like a book and know what he's thinking about the tackling, because he complains about it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, because Dad has that old school mindset of just hit the motherfucker. I don't know how you.
excuse my brother's French.
Excuse my French. I'm just saying, would he not say that?
He would, but like, remember, we're a family friendly
yeah, who cares,
podcast.
man?
I mean,
Yeah,
we'll let some
friendly.
fly. We keep it real over here sometimes, but we also like to keep it family friendly because we do have family that watches. Don't you remember?
Okay, yeah.
Anyways,
So I'm gonna just use Dion. I'm gonna just use Dion. Yeah, I mean, that guy that I used to watch from shout out Matt. Hit that mother fluffer.
There
That's
you
what I'm
go.
gonna
That's
say.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Anyways,
so but that's the thing. That's what his thoughts are. Jaden Richardson, I believe, is his name. He
Yes.
is number 15. He did have some great grabs. That's
Yes.
my game baller. I mean, this game really didn't do much for me just because of like, okay, we're playing at the Alamo Bowl. It's a pretty decent bowl game to play, but I mean, you're playing TCU. They're what, 8-6, 6-6, whatever their record was.
Who knows? I didn't really look into it.
And you didn't beat them, then that it is what it is. So
Yeah, it was also weird just watching USC without the starters. I mean, it was just a whole USC team that we're not familiar with watching. So going into like the game before, I mean, pre-game, in my mind, I was like, okay, I don't really know what to expect. All I know is Tanook is playing, King Miller's playing, Jaden's playing. Not many of our offensive line was playing. Not many of our studs on the D line were playing. So it was like a whole different team. So I kind of it was just weird to watch. But game ballers, Anthony went with Jaden Richardson. He doesn't have a stat line. He only went with him just because of that sick one-handed touchdown catch. And that, don't get me wrong.
I saw a couple of catches of this.
Yeah, he had a couple catches. Don't get me wrong. But the one that stuck out the most was the touchdown, one-handed touchdown catch in the end zone. That was dope. It kind of gave me like Jacoby Lane vibe type of a catch. So let's give it up for the boy Jaden Richardson. Is it Richardson?
Yes.
Yeah, Jaden Richardson. Let's give it up for the boy Jaden Richardson.
Sorry, I don't remember your name. Only because
he played a couple times during the season, and like I said,
is he a senior?
He is. Let me click on him. Hold up. Yeah, he was a redshirt senior, so I think I don't know if he has maybe one more year or not, but yeah. Shout out to Jaden Richardson. My game ballers. It's gonna be the boy Tanook Hines. 6 receptions, 163 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns, but should have had one. Which Jaden freaking Mayava underthrew him hella. I don't think he was used to his speed. Tanook is like a 10 in the 100 meters. He ran like a 10.5. So that's pretty fast. If you don't know, if you're not a person who has played, you don't play track, who has ran track or follows track and field or anything, I think that's fast. Okay. And my second game baller, let's give it up. First of all, let's give it up for Tanook. Should have definitely had a freaking touchdown. You got underthrown twice on a couple balls, and you should have had a couple touchdowns. And my second game baller is Mr. Freaking Automatic, and I'm glad he is back because I think he is by far one of the best USC kickers we have ever had. Okay, the boy Ryan Sayeri, the best USC kicker I've ever seen. Gotta give some love to him. The best USC kicker. Is that debatable or what? Name a better one. Name a better one.
Mario Danello?
Danello was okay. Don't get me wrong. But he wasn't as automatic like Ryan is. So.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no other kicker that I really know.
Exactly. So you can't say that what I just said.
What am I going to say? Chase McGrath or whatever his name is?
Dude, I don't know. You're tapping deep into the USC archives.
And Drew Lynch? Whatever the fuck.
Drew Lynch he was not automatic. Drew Lynch missed a couple times, and then he transferred to San Jose State and missed some kicks at San Jose State too. So, like I said,
speaking of missing kicks, that Baltimore Ravens, man.
Anyways, yeah. But like I said, Mr. Automatic, Ryan Sayeri, thank you for being Mr. Automatic, and thank you for signing again, bro. I can't wait to see you.
I hate that BS, bro.
That's weird. But Ryan Sayeri, my game baller number 2. We only have in total 3 game ballers so far.
And we're only gonna do one. Do one.
Starting next year, this is a PSA to you guys. Next year, we realized as we were going through this whole entire year regarding game ballers, 3 was a lot between the both of us because we ran into times where we would want to choose the same person, or one person, Anthony, would pick the same people every week.
Not my problem.
Yeah, so this is why starting next year, guys, we will be both of us will only be choosing one game baller. So therefore, we have to really decide who we want. Okay, we're not going to do any special mentions. We're going to have to really choose between the both of us, who we thought actually stood out the most for the game ballers. So, like I said, next year is one game baller only. So that wraps up the breakdown of the USC TCU game. Like I said, we took that L, and honestly, we're moving on. We're moving on to 2026. We're moving on to what this is gonna look like off season. I mean, maybe hopefully, I don't think we could ever get out there during the week but I want to go. I know they allow like people to go out there and watch. I don't know with Lincoln, but you can go out and watch the practice if you're media. So technically, if we really reach out to USC's media department, Bubba, and say we do a podcast, we could try to go see the practice.
Yeah, I'm interviewing. I already know. I'm interviewing. I already know. I'm interviewing Jaden.
If you were to interview Jaden today, what question would you ask him?
What are the steps that you think you need to take, or the team needs to take to just get over the hump? Because that's the problem. We can never get over the hump. So what are the steps that you feel like this team and not only with your play but with your teammates play? What do you think is the step that takes you guys over the hump? Because you guys are always right there. You're just right there. You guys just need a few missing pieces, and once you get there, and I think Jaden will answer humbly, be like, "Yeah, I know sometimes I'm off," because he'll say that. He'll be honest, like, "I didn't play a good game," or "I didn't have the end of the season I wanted." So it's like, okay, just maybe I think his answer would be consistent throughout the whole year, not from just the start we do good and then. Because the only two things, I just need him to run more. I would just tell
Hey
him, look,
man,
run
say
more,
that
use your
again,
legs.
brother. Say that
Just,
again. He needs to
run
run more.
more, run more, trust your legs. And then the other thing is, look, if you got a fast dude like Tanuk Hines, you ain't got to throw the ball that hard. You just got to put it on there. You just got to put some.
You just gotta throw the ball like Russell Wilson. Just
No, don't say Russell Wilson. No, no,
drop
no.
that thing in there, baby. Just throw
No,
it up,
no,
put
no,
some
no,
high
no,
arc
no,
on it,
no,
drop that thing
not
in there.
Russell, not Russell,
Listen. You
dude.
gotta
No,
let your
Drew Brees.
receiver
No, you
go
gotta
get the
no
ball.
Drew Brees. No, Drew Brees. Drew Brees is
Whatever.
that quarterback. He'll drop it in there for you.
Anyways, but that's a good question. I mean, if I were to interview someone, I don't think it would be a
Him
player.
or King.
What?
Him or King.
That's who you would choose?
Well, Jacoby's leaving and Makai's leaving. So
No, obviously, yes. I'm saying for the future team. So yeah. Shoot. Excuse me, I just burped. If I were to interview someone, if we were to reach out to USC's media team and they granted us access to attending a football practice and interviewing people, I would love to, like, just talk with Lincoln, because, I mean, there's one time, like, when we were playing.
no, you can talk to him. You can.
I would just talk to him, yes, just because I would love to, like, potentially, like, just throw in, like, some, like, hey man, like, let me be a assistant somehow, some way. But that's just like the dream. But anyways, who would I interview? Realistically, it would have to be. I would want to interview somebody on the defensive side of the ball to understand what the problems are on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't know who.
They're not going to answer you. Probably not. They don't want to out their coaches like that.
It's not outing coaches or anything. It's just like, what do you guys have to do better to realize that you guys have a lot of potential? You guys start out well. You guys have that shark mentality, which I love. But how can you become more than just sharks? How can you become an orca in the fourth quarter and work together as a team to, like, get the job done? So, I mean, I would probably like somewhere on the defensive side, because that's where we need help. But Anyways,
I honestly, I would ask, and then I would either be King or Ryan, and then kind of with Ryan, be what do you do to be consistent? Because he was probably the most consistent guy we had all year. He only missed 2 field goals, and they were both in the Oregon game. So, what do you do to stay consistent all year? What's your training regimen? What do you do to keep that like fresh all year long? Because when we need you to make field goals, we can count on you.
hence why he's
Brandon
Mr.
was shit
Automatic.
talking. No, Brandon was shit talking. I'm like, yeah, he's a freshman. He better not. Let's see if he's made for the lights. And I was like, well, he only missed 2 field goals all year.
Is he actually a
So
freshman?
yes,
Ryan said you're a freshman. Do you actually think so? Let me fact check
he's
that.
a freshman, dude.
What's his
He's a
number?
sophomore.
40 something?
Just look up Ryan Sayuri.
I have the whole roster here. I just don't know what number he is.
47 or 43.
We don't have a 43.
47 then.
48 is his number. And actually, you're right. He is a redshirt freshman as of the. He was last year. He went to Chaminade? No way, bro. Shout out to Chaminade. Chaminade, for those of you who don't know, both of us, I mean, I live in San Diego, but both of us were born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. And Chaminade is a part of the San Fernando Valley. So shout out to Chaminade High School, man. To
Shout out to the homies that went there.
yeah, for real. Anyways, got a couple more things we kind of want to talk about regarding USC. I want to talk about the defensive coordinator rumors that we got going on. I mean, excuse me, sorry, chat. For those of you who don't know, D'Anton Lynn decided to sign with Penn State and be their new defensive coordinator. So he will be leaving us for the 2026 football season. So obviously, if you weren't paying attention during the USC game, during the bowl game, Alamo Bowl, D'Anton Lynn wasn't the one calling plays. The one calling plays during the game was Eric Henderson, who was our defensive line / co-defensive coordinator. There's been a lot of names on this rumor mill as far as who's linked to USC. How many do you know, Anthony, off the top of your head?
Just Pat.
Huh?
Just Pat.
Pat who?
That's the only one I want. It's the only one I want.
Pat who?
Pat Patricia. That's his name.
Oh,
or Matt. Whatever. Matt. I don't
the
know
OC. The OC for Bubba
DC.
wants the OC for Ohio State.
The DC.
Oh,
bull.
my bad. What am I saying? The DC for Ohio State.
I think it's either Matt, Mike, Pat, some shit. I just know his last name's Patricia.
Let's see. Let me do the research. That's what Anthony wants, but I don't think he's rumored to leaving Ohio State.
I wouldn't if I were him, but if he does, come to SC.
Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Pat, Matt, one of the two.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bubba.
he's under the Belichick tree, and I mean, anybody under the Belichick tree, you kind of just, unless you're Josh McDaniels, everybody will give you a chat. So, that's the only one I want.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we have good, solid linebackers coach and Rob Ryan. I like that.
Rob Ryan. We do have as far as these are just names that Anthony floated out. I actually have like a couple ones that I just read right before we hopped on.
Rob Ryan's the guy that we already have, so I want to keep him.
So I think we will keep Rob Ryan, but some of the people that have been linked. I mean, Jakeem Stewart, our defensive line has been like heavy for Eric Henderson, the one who called the plays for the Alamo Bowl. Jakeem's been speaking loud for Eric to take over as a DC. Another name on the list, the rumor mill is what I call it, is Pete Kowalski. I don't know if I pronounced his last name correctly, but he used to be the Texas defensive coordinator about a year or two ago. But within the article that I was reading, has like some one insider believes he's gonna be the Stanford defensive coordinator.
Don't know why you would go there, but
Exactly. Don't know why you would go there, but who knows? He's maybe trying to. I don't know.
hey, Andrew Luck might turn that program around, baby. You never know.
We'll see.
Believe in the
We
luck.
shall see. Another one that I thought was pretty interesting when I was reading the Sports Illustrated, because I'm pulling my stuff from Sports Illustrated. Okay, it was Al Golden, the Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator. When I was reading the article, it said that Al Golden and our GM were worked together when they were both at Notre Dame. So that's the only link connections. Keep in mind, these are all rumors, okay? We have no solid, like, potential candidates.
Just give me Pat Patricia and give me
Matt Patricia.
whatever. Just give me Patricia. Sorry, excuse me.
And the last name in the rumor mill that according to Sports Illustrated, the article that I read from Sports Illustrated is Jimmy Lake, who is a Rams defensive assistant. Only reason the article said to that was because he worked with, I think, our athletic director somewhere. And also we do have connections with the Rams because of Eric Henderson. Eric Henderson used to be the defensive, I think, like something with the Rams, the D lines. He coached with Coach Aaron Donald at the Rams. So those are just potential rumor mill names that I was just seeing online, trying to see if we have any.
The one that
hope.
I wanted, freaking, or well, I don't know what he is. I think isn't he going to the one that from Oregon?
The defensive coordinator for Oregon, yeah, he's I think he's getting a head coaching job somewhere.
What's his name? What?
I don't know what his name is, but I know who you're
Isn't
talking.
he the blonde hair guy? Blonde hair dude.
I don't know, Anthony. I just know he's getting a head coaching job somewhere, and I don't know where, to be honest with you. But I just know he's got
I
a
just
head.
want to make something clear. Did he coach with Nick Saban? Because that's the guy I'm referring to.
No, but you know who did actually coach for Nick Saban with Nick Saban's Dan Lanning. So
Yo, Dan Lanning and that blonde. He is from Alabama too. That other guy.
I don't know, Anthony. If you wanted,
That's why him and Dan know each other. I think is because of the.
I don't know for the 5th time. Damn.
Then look up what his name is.
You just flipped the camera. What are you doing over here, bro? You're screwing up the vibes for the pod. Nobody wants to see the dresser.
My bad. I didn't mean to switch the camera.
That's why you shouldn't be touching your phone, man. Don't be touching. Where's your big old iPad that you just got to be doing the research and using, bro? Oh my God. This is how you know bowl season is in effect, because we haven't been consistent with the podcast. So we're in our bowl season rush. With that being said, I want to transition to something that I was talking about with Anthony before we started recording. My question is do bowl games even matter anymore? If you're not in the college football playoffs, do you think bowl games matter anymore?
Oh, there he is. Tosh Lapoi. That's his name.
You're kind of sideways. Everyone's gonna be looking at you sideways, like what, like this.
Yeah, I was trying to find his name. That's why.
It's not good. That's why you should have your brand new iPad that you got to be pulling it up while you're sitting right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That should be your notebook for the podcast right there. Anyways, do bowl games matter anymore, bro?
No. I mean, unless you play in like the bowls in the playoff game.
That's what I said. If you're not,
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like. I like the PS5, but I'm not gonna go play in the PS5 bowl. Like I could really.
there
give a
was no
crap.
PS5 bowl this year. It was an Xbox bowl. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. I like Xbox, but I'm not gonna go sit there play an Xbox bowl.
So with that being said, do you think the teams that opted out, like Notre Dame, there's a couple other teams. Don't think Notre Dame's the only one that I know, but there's a couple other teams like that opted out to play bowl games. We're thinking like these bowl games don't really matter if we're not in the college football playoffs. I mean,
But
they're right to. I mean, in a sense, it's like
Well,
soft
because
on
now
your
it's-
end to opt out, but like
Well, because now it's a business, and Now you got the players looking out for themselves. I mean, as you should, that's fine. But at the same time, yes, look out for yourself, but also no, because again, my whole problem with this NIL thing is that not a lot of these kids are getting the same opportunity. It's only if you're good. Like if you're a subpar guy and you're on the bench, I don't know how many NIL offers you're going to be receiving. So realistically, it's changed the game, and now I really don't think playing ball games matter because there is no integrity in the game anymore. There's no guys who are willing to. And if I'm gonna be honest, I mean, I don't know what I would do. I mean, because like if there were NILs in baseball and I was playing college baseball, would I want to play games that don't matter? I don't know. Like, but at
Well,
the
I
but
think
at,
like it's just like if
but
you're
I mean
talking
like
about different sports, like it's
no, but
completely
I'm
different
saying
though.
either way, I don't think it. I don't think it matters. No, because like if I am I gonna go play in the freaking Doritos Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl? Like hell yeah, like I'm sure that's a playoff one now.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the
And
next ones. These
like
next
all
two
the
ones
ones,
are.
all the Orange Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, uh, the all the main ones, the Sugar Bowl, and then those are the main ones that people want to see because those are now like those are bowl games as a kid. Like everybody would want to go to. Like if you weren't playing at the for the national
Well,
championship at the
back,
Rose
but
Bowl.
yeah, back then those games were always like the highly competitive
But now because
games.
now they're all incorporated in the playoff system, then it's like but then Dan Lanning saying, "Oh, well, let's take those bowl games out kind of because we're playing them too early and save those bowl games for because you can make that matter. That's the only way you can do it. Like you have to pick the select few. Like, hey, so basically, what him and Joe Klatt were saying was take every bowl game out, like take all the bowl games out and leave them there for like leave those open for teams to play, teams that don't make it to go play in those bowl games.
Right. I think you.
But
I
but
agree, but I
but
don't think you take all of them out. Like, let's just say the
no no
Alamo
no no
Bowl
no.
has
I'm
been
not
in.
saying that. No, this is what I'm saying. Hold on, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying what they said, kind of, if I remember with Joe Klatt. Like leave them there. Like leave those bowl games you're taking out in the of the playoff there. What they're saying is they would have like Dan Lanning would have rather have gone to Texas Tech and go play Texas Tech there, and they would rather play the quarterfinals, the semis, and the quarterfinals and the semis at
Yeah,
what's called
what they're saying, I understand what you're saying. Like, make those like playoff home games.
like
Like,
NFL type shit. Like you
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go. Like,
I understand. Like, yes, but then with that thinking, that leaves like
and then it leaves
okay,
you bowl games for people to play. But then it's like, well,
exactly. Like you think about it, like okay, what teams can fill those like coveted bowl games, like the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl. Yes, I think the Rose Bowl. I agree with Dan Lanning and Joel Klatt, and I think the Rose Bowl should just be the granddaddy of them all. It's called the granddaddy of them all for a reason, and it should be the championship game. So I think the Rose Bowl should be the national championship game. One because it'll now with UCLA leaving the Rose Bowl, that'll bring so much more.
that's stupid too. I'm not even a UCLA fan, but that's stupid. I was talking about
I
it
agree as
yesterday.
well, but I think we're going back on what I'm saying. Like that'll bring, I think the Rose Bowl. I mean, not as much revenue, but as far as like what they could have made off of UCLA, but UCLA's football is absolutely dog water. So
Yeah, but you got to think about it. What for the fan? What the hell are they gonna tailgate? They can't tailgate it so far. Just like you realize in the next few years we're gonna have to do the same thing. Because
yeah, that's just because the Olympics are screwing us over and kicking us out of our stadium. But keep in mind, the Olympics, the
that's what
Coliseum
I'm
was
saying.
built
So
for
that's what
the
I'm
Olympics.
saying. That's
So
what I'm saying. So your only option to tailgate is to sit on your butt at home.
I mean, who
That's it.
knows? I mean, UCLA, what UCLA is doing as far as signing with the trying to get out of their contract with the Rose Bowl is first of all, it's to try to sell more suites, and because of the suites, first of all, you guys could not even fill the Rose Bowl. So what makes you think you're gonna fill out SoFi Stadium, who has like maybe 90 plus
First of
almost?
all, parking's crap. Parking's trash. Like I would never recommend parking there. I've drove by there a bunch of times, and I would never want to park there. And everybody that I've gone, that I've heard, they said Uber. Just Uber there. It's the best. It's the Uber. Take the whatever you got to do to not park. That's the best option because parking is crap. Like even like like it's not football related, but even the Intuit don't like these. They're terrible parking structures. It's just
Well,
terrible.
you gotta keep in mind also, Anthony. These places that they're built in Inglewood don't have a lot of space, right? They have a lot of like
That okay, that
the
is
reason
true,
why
but I'm
SoFi was built was because it used to be that would used to be the Hollywood Raceway where we had horse
know what it
races.
used to be. I know what it used to be.
So
Yeah,
that's
but
why
I'm
they had
saying,
so much land to build the
but still,
SoFi. But
but
Intuit
still,
Dome had just like there's Intuit Dome is like built in within the city to where it's like you can't
yeah, you
tailgate
have to
anywhere.
drive
So
in like you have to drive in the middle of the hood, then make a left just to get to the parking spot. It's horrible. I've been into them one time just to watch a WWE event, and it was horrible. I would Uber there. I would never ever drive there again.
yeah,
Never.
I mean I haven't been to either the Intuit Dome. I've never even been to the fucking excuse my
Dude, like
French.
the forum,
The
forum's
forum. I
great.
haven't even been to the forum. So
The forum, great parking. Like it's easy.
well, yeah.
You
Look
just
how
go, hey,
small the forum is. So like,
but still, but I'm saying, like, either way,
anyways,
the fact is this. Either way, what I'm gonna say is this, and we're getting sidetracked. But yes, I would say that bowl games don't matter personally to me anymore because all the bowl games, all the main ones, are getting played throughout the playoffs. And
yeah.
I'm sure no
I
team wants to go to the freaking Peaches Toast Bowl and go play like a game where like the trophy's a piece of toast. I'm sure people don't want to go play for
Dude,
that.
the most disgusting bowl is that Duke Mayo Bowl where whoever the winning head coach is
Dude,
gets.
I feel bad for that head coach,
Yeah,
dude.
so do I.
Honestly,
I mean,
you
so
know
I
what?
agree with you. I feel like bowl games don't even matter anymore. Like looking at some of these bowl games, the LA Bowl is probably not going to be in existence anymore. That Snoop Dogg Bowl, I don't. Why Snoop Dogg? I personally
Dude,
think
the
you're
only
losing.
bowl, Las Vegas Bowl. That's the only bowl that like
I
people
think the
cover that.
bowl games that should keep being in existence, Alamo Bowl for sure. Okay, that one's been around for a long time. The Snapdragon one that they have here, the Holiday Bowl, has just been around for a long time, and that one's pretty good. Especially who doesn't want to come to San Diego? I mean, this is one of the best cities in California.
And then the Vegas Bowl. That's it.
Vegas Bowl, yeah, because who doesn't want to go to freaking Vegas? Everybody loves going to Vegas. What else? Um, all these other the Turbo Tax Bowl. I mean, all those other bowls for these other schools. I do agree with you that they shouldn't be in existence because not even the attendance is even up for these schools. And like some of these schools, like Arizona, have to like go to these bowl games and that are like on the other side of the country and the fans can't even go watch their team in the bowl game. So bowl season's kind of dying. The whole college football season is now like turning into sub NFL pro, and it's just kind of sad to see where the direction. It's not sad to see. It's like a 50-50 is what I want to say. Before we transition and pretty much we'll talk about one more thing and then we'll close it up. But college football is headed in a direction where the traditional college football fans, like my brother and I, and pretty much all of the generations from like our generation, so born from like 2000 to like the 96, 95, 1980 babies, all the way to like the 2002, 2001
Okay,
babies.
no, you just say it from the freaking 1900s until 2000. Just cut it
Yes.
off at 2000. Like the cutoff would be 2003, 2004. That's the last.
Yeah, all of us who witnessed college football at what it was and what makes it the sport and the game so exciting, are starting to like become sad with the product that is going to be the future of college football.
This betting is ruining everything. Like, bro, and
Betting,
you got
just money. I mean, don't get me wrong; these players did deserve to get paid during that time, like when
yeah,
these.
but that one guy freaking in Buffalo. What an idiot, man. Like I'm just saying, like people were starting to think, okay, did he bet? Like that's the one like that was in the comments. Like, oh, did he literally could have he literally could have just ran in the end zone. It was like I don't know what route he ran. He caught the ball on the sideline and then he just ran out of bounds.
Well,
And
Anthony,
then it was
let's
like,
just say this: sports betting and has been in existence, and
yes, it
just
has
rigging.
been used a
It's been
bunch
in
of times.
existence for the longest time, even back when we were kids. We just never really knew about it. So now
Yeah,
that
but
sports
see, they
betting
were
is
able to
on,
hide it more. They were able to hide it more.
because no, you weren't able to hide it more. It's just sports betting back in the day was such a under the table thing to compare to it what it is now. There's advertisements in every single sporting event that says bet, 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 bet,
I'm
bet.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. That's what I don't like. Like you see, like even whatever. I love the Bill. I freaking forget the guy's name. I know his first name's Bill, but he's like the big Celtics fan. Uh, and he has a podcast. First thing I see, oh, a FanDuel ad. Like, bro, can we just like that? Made me not want to watch the podcast anymore. I was
That's
like,
because
bro, I love.
he's getting promote. Probably works in partnership with FanDuel, like to promote betting,
And
right?
everybody
If
does. So
we
I'm
were to
like,
get
bro,
approached
stop
by
doing that.
if we were to get approached by a betting and we were to take it as a sponsorship, Anthony, that's just unfortunately what we would have to do. That's just
I'm
the
just
day and
saying,
the
I
age that we
probably
live
wouldn't.
in now. That
I wouldn't
everything
take it.
everything revolves around like sports betting, and
I
it's
wouldn't take it. I'm just saying.
I mean, but it's Anthony. You got to understand. Sometimes these partnerships can last for a lifetime. I mean, whether you want to shove it down
That's
your.
not. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry to cut you, but to me, that's not a meaningful partnership. I don't want a
Yeah, I don't
partnership.
think 100%. Like I would work with these betting companies a couple times, but if you're consistently telling me to shove sports betting down my community's throat, I'm not gonna shove sports betting down my community's throat. Yes, I sports bet when I go to Vegas and wish that sports betting was legal here in California because I would do it occasionally, just because I feel like I have a strong sense
Yeah,
of
but the problem, is that here's the thing. We'll just end it with this, and then we'll go. The problem is you're getting people that don't know what the hell they're doing
exactly
to
that's
try to
the
try to do this. To
exactly
try
that's
to
the
go and bet.
problem.
Like you're getting people that listen to their idiot friends who just want to gamble their money away and think that,
Right?
oh, I got this
Yes,
on the back. No, you
we're
don't, bro.
we're we're in the era of a degeneracy at its finest as far as sports betting. Honestly, if you know nothing about sports, you should not be sports betting. If you listen to your friends saying you should bet player props, no, you should not bet player props. Why would you bet player props? The only, in my personal opinion, as far as sports betting, I don't even understand the spread, so I don't even bet the spread. You bet what you understand, and for me, it's money lines. Okay, that's what I know. It's not the
I mean,
best
spread's
way
not
to
that
make
hard to
money,
understand, but I
but
mean,
it is
spread
what
is
it
not that
is.
hard to understand, but I mean, like I can bet the spread, I could bet the over under, I could bet a bunch of different ways. And like first of all, the big thing is parlaying. That a lot of people don't know how to parlay either. So
Well, everyone just parlays for a big shot, so that's pretty much what
yeah,
everyone looks for nowadays. But
I'm just saying at the end of the day, hey, dude, don't listen to your freaking friends. Don't like let them convince you that what they're doing is right. Because trust me, you'll meet some people out there that, or you'll know someone out there who gets really like there's just something about it. They're just like they can't. That's just what they want to do, and it's like
it
okay, cool.
becomes once you start betting.
And
Let's just put this out in the air right now for everyone. Once you start betting and you start winning, it becomes an addiction, right? Just like any other addiction that people follow suit into.
and that's how they get you. That's how they get
Exactly,
you.
and that's why they're
They get
targeting
addicted.
people so much and want sports influencers or podcasters, TV programs to
Bro,
consistently force it down your guys' throat so you can lose money and it to go to them. So we're not going to
so
continue to
again,
talk about sports betting because it is a very controversial subject.
it
The,
is, but I'm just gonna say that again. I'll throw it out there, and I would probably bad business move for sure, but I would definitely not want to do one at
I
all.
mean,
Like just because it doesn't align with anything that I believe, and I'm not gonna sit here and if I'm telling my fans that I don't want to have or be sponsored by sport, not just because one, everybody's fucking doing it. That's number one. Number two, it's not just that. It's the fact, like, look, that doesn't align with what I am, with what I do, with what I
Right, and
want to
then
be
we keep in mind
considered.
both of us just don't bet a lot, right? We're not like your average bettors who find like these other things like
But
that.
either
So
way, the fact is that doesn't matter. The fact that matters, it doesn't align to me for what I believe. Doesn't matter how much I bet. I could be the biggest bettor in the world and still be like, because there are some that are like, nah, if you don't know what you're doing, because I have talked to some, if they you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. There's no point. There's no
exactly,
point
because
in.
these people know what they're doing, Anthony. You can only this is what I say to people, like, you only bet if you know what you're doing and you really understand the sport. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. If you're a fanatic and not just to chase a dopamine high or a dopamine rush, don't do it. Do it for the knowledge of the game and how well you know the game. So
I'll give
let's
you an
just end it
example.
here because
Okay,
we're getting
okay.
a little bit too
Well,
far
can I just
ahead
do
with
one
this.
example? I'll just do one example.
No more
So,
examples.
and
Let's just Anthony, seriously,
okay, but okay, I'm
let's
just
just
saying,
let's just end it here.
it's just one that
Okay, speak your mind, and
it's
then we're gonna stop talking about sports betting because we're not gonna keep promoting it and giving
okay.
it the power.
Okay, so I'm just saying a bet that I got crap done for was
Don't even bring up that Vegas situation when we were the. Are you gonna bring up when we were in Vegas for the March Madness?
yeah, okay, I'll just say this. I parlayed something and one of the parlays was Boston College to beat
I
uh
think it was Florida State.
Florida State, yes. And I saw the way, and Georgia Tech was not Georgia Tech this year. The way Georgia Tech played last season was not the way that Georgia Tech played in 2024. So let's just keep that in mind.
You bet Boston
So
College. You said.
no, dude, I watched the Georgia Tech
Oh,
Florida
oh,
State
oh,
game,
oh.
and I'm saying that Georgia Tech was not the Georgia Tech of last season. 2 seasons ago, Georgia Tech, when they played Florida State, two different teams. From so what I'm saying is I saw that. And one of my uncles and a lot of my family members were giving me crap. Like, oh, why would you do that? Why would I not? Why would I not like think, okay, I have a shot with Boston College with the way Florida State just played, and I knew their quarterback sucked. I knew he wasn't going to do well. And what did he do? He blew the whole game away. And what happened? And it's just like, again, in Vegas with you, when you told me not to bet Tennessee. And what I do? I bet Tennessee and I won.
Well, yeah,
Because
you
what
put.
I
I mean,
do,
you had. I mean, sometimes like that, like those ones. I mean, you have
I just
strong
don't listen to the
intuition.
haters. I don't listen to the
Sometimes you have
hate.
strong intuitions, but anyways, sorry we went on a
It's
long rant
incorrect.
about
It's incorrect.
sports
Incorrect.
betting because it could go. Sports betting will take you down a rabbit hole. That's what we're gonna say to end there. Last couple things before we want wrap up the podcast here. Um, I wanted to talk about the USC UCLA basketball game that my brother went to. I mean, let's just sum up the negative thoughts that you had. I mean, let's just put it this way: USC absolutely got smoked by UCLA. The women of Troy lost 46 to 80. And don't get me wrong, I tuned into the game a little bit here and there, only because my Niners were playing. I didn't watch the game, but from what I saw, it was just obviously you saw it within your own eyes. It was just absolute horrible. It's hard not having Juju out there, so it's like we're just depending on Jazzy. I mean, we went to the USC UConn game and we just saw a shit show there. So I'm pretty sure you saw a shit show against UCLA. Just give yours like in a 2 minutes summary before we dive in.
Fundamentally, they're a better team on offensive defense. They got people that are fundamentally sound. They don't have that at SC.
Well,
Not
what
yet.
was UCLA? UCLA was ranked what? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Anyways,
But
I
they
think
should
they're
have
in the
lost to
top
Texas.
15 or top 10. I can't really
Yeah,
remember, but
they were in the top four until they lost to Texas. So my thing is they're just they're better fundamentally sound. They're more like they move the ball. That's what I saw. Ball movement, cutting, screens, motions on offense, on defensive ball. They good footwork. They had good hands, good body control on the defensive end, not foul. They've played well all around, and they've a good basketball team. And so, SC, what I saw on that on there, their side of the ball. Just like even Jazzy pissed me off too, because Jazzy would just stand there on the wing or on pretty much damn near the left elbow of not the elbow, the right, like right where the free throw lane is. Just stand there and then just wait. All they did was just stand there, no moving, no nothing until the person got stuck.
Yeah,
Until she picked up her dribble and she couldn't do anything with it.
let's just
Then
sum
they
up.
start, oh,
Let's just
but
sum
then
it
they
up
all
here. That USC, we got a lot to work on. USC basketball. I mean, when we went to that UConn game, it's not a lot of movement, not a lot of cuts, not a lot of backdoor screens, nothing. They got a lot to work on, and it's hard because I mean we're relying on Jazzy Davidson as a true freshman. Yes, Juju was a freaking stud as a true freshman, but Jazzy Davidson is not Juju Watkins. Okay,
not yet.
not yet, right? Give her some time to grow. Juju, absolute stud coming out of high school. We all knew
With
that.
Juju, I think that ball game's closer just because.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
100%. And Juju would find ways. I think when Juju comes back and when they start working together, Juju and Jazzy will work together because I think Jazzy's more of a shooter. I think she's a shooter.
yes.
So I mean, it was just horrible to see
It was
the
just
women
bad,
of.
whatever. It was horrible. It was just
It was
bad.
yeah horrible to
It was
us.
all bad. It was all bad.
For us to go down to our rivals. I mean, but it was only game one. I mean, who knows what'll happen in the Galen in March? I don't even know.
I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see another. No disrespect to the women of Troy, but I don't want to. I don't want to see another.
Dude, Lauren Betts,
Dude,
she's that good.
she's tall and she's really good. I mean, anyways, last thing we want to end it on. I mean, is our famous segment, third down hot takes. I have one hot take. And let's just keep it at this one hot take, to be honest, because we have been going over for over an hour. But the most favorite segment in our personal biased opinion, third down hot takes. My third down hot take is Ole Miss is absolutely better without Lane Kiffin.
I mean, again, I've said this. I even said this when Adam was on the pod. Lane, he hasn't won a national championship yet.
Yeah,
So-
Lane Kiffin. I just think everywhere he
I'm
goes,
saying
he
as a
does
head
good.
coach, like, teams that
but-
he's led, the only national championship that he won was when he was under Nick Saban's tool. When he was under Nick Saban's toolbox. That's the only time he won a national championship or was part of a national. I mean, maybe early days in the SE if that's where he started. But in terms of teams that he's led by himself, teams that he was the head coach of, didn't win national championship. He was supposed to do it at Tennessee, didn't do it at Tennessee. He's supposed to do it at Ole Miss, and sure as hell they ain't gonna give him credit at Ole Miss for this.
No, they're definitely not. I think people are even talking like, do you even, if Ole Miss wins this championship without Lane Kiffin, do you even give him a ring? I personally think you don't give him a ring. He doesn't deserve.
If you
Like, how are you gonna
would've
quit on
been
your team when you already know you have a playoff secured? Screw like going to LSU because I can recruit players better. Like, what are you smoking? Like, Ole Miss is a reputable school as far as the
Chambliss
conference.
is different, baby. Trinidad Chambliss is
Yeah, he is.
bad man.
He's a bad man. Definitely balled out during that game. But like for me, it's just like so disrespect, and it's just so hard to like be a player that like gets recruited by this coach. So the coach says, "Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a long time. You guys are my guys. I'm gonna ride with you to the end." But then decides to leave when your team is in the playoff. The team that you put together is in the playoffs. And like, who we were talking with somebody at the SC game, like Johnny B and stuff like that. Remember, we were saying like if Kiffin takes Ole Miss to the national championship and wins the national championship, everyone at Ole Miss would have seen Lane Kiffin as the greatest head coach in Ole Miss's time.
But he didn't. But
he quit on his team. I mean, it's a pattern that Lane Kiffin tends to have. Okay, yes, he got canned at USC because of. I mean, he just didn't. I mean, he was just when he took over USC, he was just a shit time for him personally, because of the sanctions that we got from the Reggie Bush
His
shit.
own son don't even want to play for him.
It's kind of
So
weird, yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but that's you're speaking on that.
no,
But
they said that. They said he doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to play for my dad either if I know that. I mean, I'm sure that's probably not his reasons why, but maybe it's part of it. But I'm sure that's not the main reason. But I'm saying, why would I get? But this is why I have no problem with players getting their bag now. Because who are you gonna trust? There's no
that's
person
fair.
that
Like,
you
why
can.
would I trust like a coach like Lane Kiffin, who said, "I'm gonna be with you, uh, for the length of your 4 year career," and then after your third or fourth year, he decides to leave. It's quite a pattern. He did it at Tennessee. Tennessee, he stayed there for like 5 years, I think. Didn't win a. I don't even know if he won a SEC championship or didn't even win a national title. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Alabama.
Yeah. Well, he didn't go. He got chosen by Saban.
I think he was at Tennessee for a couple of years. Then he went to Bama, and then after that, after those couple of years, I think he went to Ole Miss from
Yeah,
there.
I watched his
Or he went to no,
documentary.
he went to Florida. No, he went to FAU or whatever the
Yeah, he
fuck.
went to FAU. FAU, he won 2 years of being a. He got at FAU. He won their conference championship 2 years in a row,
They'll
and then
probably see
left.
him as like a good coach because what he did over there, but that's nothing compared to what you do over there is nothing compared to what you do in over here. So, which is
Exactly. I mean,
unfortunate.
it's just a recurring pattern with Lane Kiffin, and it's just sad to see. I mean, that he stays 5 years out of school and then leaves. Like builds the program up to where they could be really good. Like Ole Miss. Like if he would have stayed, he would have been. They were Johnny B and all of our dad's friends were saying he would have been a god complex at Ole Miss. Like
Oh, no doubt.
everybody would have loved him. But it's just a
Except Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike always hated him. So
yeah, Uncle Mike.
I
Well, that's
mean,
because Uncle Mike's just a big SEC football guy and just has seen what Lane
but he knows
Kiffin's.
ball. Uncle Mike knows ball.
Yeah,
Uncle
well,
Mike
also
knows.
because he refs too as well. But uh,
Yes.
it's
But
just.
but yeah, I just want to end it with this. This,
I
this
bet
is
you
where
five. I bet you after 5 years, Lane Kiffin won't win a SEC title at LSU and will not win a national championship at
ain't
LSU.
nobody gonna want to go play for him. Ain't nobody gonna be like, yeah, like what do you think? And then that basketball coach like holding his hand and then just waving him up like, congratulations, you're gonna get a guy that's gonna stab you in the back in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's why
So
they called him the snake. I mean, personally, like I said,
so
Lane Kiffin didn't get
so
his
yeah.
time at USC. Could have gotten a lot better
So
if we
I'm just
didn't get
gonna
the
say
sanctions.
this.
But
Just gonna say this and say this only. And then we can wrap it up or whatever you want. My thing is two things here. Lane Kiffin again hasn't really done crap at all in college football. I mean, his dad has done way more than him for sure. Um, and then I would say the other thing is, y- y- I mean, this is where I don't have problem if you go out and get your bag because of the coach situation. Like I can't trust these mother fluffers. They're not gonna. They say this, they say, but then they always turn their word. So who am I supposed to rely on? Nobody but me. And I think that's why I hated it when it started, but I'm starting to get more lenient with it. But also, I'm saying this is why coaches like Lane Kiffin are why there is no loyalty in a program, no loyalty in college football anymore. Brian Kelly also is not a loyal motherfucker either. I've I've got some not like inside sources, but on the outside sources saying how much they hated Brian Kelly and how he wasn't a good coach and just I mean what he did at Cincinnati was a little different, but again he built up Notre Dame and just left them. Did semi decent with LSU, who didn't really do anything special. So it just goes just like that just piss you off just because you feel for the guys, you feel for the players. They put their heart. They're the ones. They're at the end of the day. Realistically, theoretically, Glenn Kiffin is putting himself on the line by coaching big schools. But really, the ones that are putting their ones on the line, their lives on the line, are the people that are actually going out and playing football. They're actually going and hitting people and making plays and doing all that. Those are the guys that I feel for. Because it's like you put your heart and soul into something, and someone's willing to take it away from you because they just care about themselves.
Yeah, just the era we live in now. I mean, like I said, that's why my third down hot take is Ole Miss is definitely better without Lane Kiffin, and I personally, I mean, we'll see how these these next two playoff games play out this weekend, upcoming weekend, Thursday and Friday. They are. I mean, personally, if let's before we wrap it up, let's just what was I gonna say? Let's just pick a winners for the bowl games that we think are gonna win this weekend. First matchup we have, like I said, this Thursday. Where is it? Where are you? Shoot.
Oregon, Indiana. I'm taking Indiana.
I think that's a Friday game. I think, if I am 100%. Yeah, Oregon, Indiana. I'm obviously. I know Oregon's a former Pac-12 school, but I have family ties at Indiana, so I'm gonna pick Indiana. And then Miami and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss.
I am also gonna go Ole Miss as well. So
I
personally,
mean, don't get me wrong.
I don't like
Miami
Carson
to
back. I
school and
just
stuff. I
don't-
like Miami to school, but then also some of my favorite players like Devin Hester and guys like that, Willis McGahee and Clinton Portis, Sean Taylor, rest in peace. They played at Miami, so that's kind of why I like Miami school. Also, Michael Irvin and them boys that played back then with Coach Jimmy. Uh, I would rather Ole Miss win just because I also have family ties for Ole Miss, but also I, as much as I love Miami school, it's just I would rather.
It's all right.
see Ole
Just
Miss
it's
win.
okay. You don't gotta explain yourself. But yeah,
Yeah,
those are the two that. This is our picks for the national championship. It'll be Indiana versus Ole Miss, and I'm only rooting for Ole Miss. Yes, we have family ties because of our uncle, big Ole Miss fan. But I also want to see Ole Miss get to the national championship and maybe win the national championship without Lane Kiffin as a big like screw you to Lane Kiffin. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of rooting for both of those teams to win. So, but yeah, that'll wrap up the podcast. Episode 15 was a long one. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you once again, Heather and cousin Dean, for this beautiful noggin boss hat. We appreciate it. Like I said, we're gonna incorporate this into a segment for a special segment for next year. So thank you so much. Go get your noggin boss at just look it up, noggin boss. Okay.
At a store near you. I don't know.
You can get it at a store. You can go on their website personally. They got NFL. They got a whole bunch of different things. So shout out to Noggin Boss. They did not sponsor this just because this was a gift from our cousin Dean, who is a USC alumni, and his wife Heather gifted us the pod for Christmas. This Noggin Boss. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys, miss you guys, and thank you to all you guys who continue to watch and support. We're at 11 subscribers so far, and 2026. Let's get this up to 30. I want to get 30 by the end of next year. So let's run it up. Thank you guys for watching. Anything else you got to say before we close it out here?
Break it down. But
All
I
right.
appreciate you, Heather and cousin Dean. Love you guys.
Yep, appreciate you both. Let's break it down, man. Shoot, I guess just fight on 3. We ain't really got not much to look forward to. I mean, it's gonna be hard. We want to do some basketball content, but I think we're only gonna have to focus on the men as we get later on in the towards March Madness time. So we'll be coming to you with some basketball content. We're just gonna have to pick up some games that can talk about. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, fight on 3. Fight on me. 1, 2, 3. Fight on, baby. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. And good luck to all the teams out there. This playoff bowl game season. Let's finish strong and crown a new national champion in 2026. It's your hosts, AJ and
Bye-bye.
we're out. Have a good night. Happy 2026. Laters.